Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be talking about the rest of the week that was in pro wrestling. And sadly, once again, it is just going to be TNA Impact. Once again, Saturday was doggy duty, so I had to take in notes for Collision. But I do have notes here on TNA Impact. So hopefully you sit down, relax, and let's get into this one. So we start out with the System arriving to the arena and intimidating someone backstage. Some extra or something. They make it to the ring. Pick up a mic. Eddie Edwards starts with the microphone and says it had to be done 5 times, which I didn't like. Anyway, Eddie then continues. For the past week, everyone asked us why. Why did you do this to your family? Moose was at one time the most dominant athlete, not just in TNA, but in pro wrestling. He brought the world championship to the System. Now, Moose is nothing more than a selfish brute. And tonight is about the System. Tonight we move on from JDC. And how everyone now asks again, how do you do this to a man who retired? The only reason he joined the System is to ride our coattails until the end. This then brings out Alicia Edwards, Eddie's significant other. She gets in the ring. She rips the microphone from Eddie and says, I'm your ride or die, huh? You have the nerve to take this. Why would I keep you? So Eddie takes the microphone back, says, we can't do this right here. Why don't we just go home and talk about this? So then Alicia takes back the microphone and says, well, here's the thing. My contract is coming up. Why would I stay with this group? Eddie then says, you are my ride or die. And either you're in with the System or you're out. Alicia takes back the microphone and says, I don't want to be part of the System. Drops the mic, walks out. So, I'm not 100% sure, but it does seem like Alicia Edwards is done with TNA, which is kind of a shame because I do like her. But, yeah, a lot of people are leaving TNA these days. I got a funny feeling we'll see Alicia Edwards down the line. Maybe in an alliance with Moose and someone else. But, yeah, we got a brand new System. Next, we got an interview with BDE, who is a fellow YouTuber who is getting into wrestling. He has an interview, says, I'm going to be real, I'm going to be nervous. I'm nervous for tonight's match. I was nothing more than a fan who got lucky. That's what a lot of people say. But I'm going to prove the haters wrong when I beat Nick Nemeth tonight. That leads us into our first matchup of the evening, as Nick Nemeth takes on BDE. And I'm going to tell you what, BDE, he impressed. He is really, really good at what he does. He did really impress with the Busaiku knee frog splash combination, only for 2. He attempted his middle rope cutter. That gets caught right into the danger zone for Nick Nemeth for the win. And as Nick Nemeth is leaving, his brother Ryan comes out. He has a microphone. He says, look, You won your match. That's great. I'm going to join you in a second. I got business to handle. So Nick goes to the back. Ryan gets in the ring. And he says, I want to take this time to call out someone. My opponent from Genesis, Maria Shade, I think her name is. So Mara comes out. And Ryan says, you've been assaulting me week after week, and I've done nothing to deserve it. I've eaten all of your super kicks. It's time to admit I am the superior athlete. At Genesis, I beat you fair and square, so you need to shake my hand and admit I beat you. Ryan extends his hand. Then Maria, I forget her name, says, you want me to shake your hand? Why don't you tell everyone the truth? You didn't beat me. You got lucky. So then Ryan puts his hand down. Looks like he kind of sighs. He says, well, it's obvious here. There's some sort of attraction. So instead of a handshake, why don't we kiss for a truce? So then Maria extends her hand. Ryan kind of grasps it a little hard. Maria with just starts beating Ryan Nemeth down. Attempts the super kick. Ryan catches it. It's a gigantic clothesline. Then the refs come out and separate them both. So it does look like this feud is going on. Getting some intergender wrestling, which is very interesting. And then we get this interesting segment. So it's the Elegance brand. So it's Ash M, Mr. Elegance, and it's revealed that Ash is actually cleared to compete after, I want to say it was either a leg injury or it was an elbow. So she's back and good to go. And she has eyes at the Knockouts title. The title she never lost. So now current champion Xialing Jie, I think her name is, the former Xia Li, comes in. Says, you want it, you gotta earn it. That point, the rest of the Elegance brand surrounds Ash. Looks like it's about to be a beatdown. Then Xia Brookside and Indy Hartwell come in. They have her back. Then a 6-man tag is made for next week. And then at that point, when they're staring each other down, Mr. Elegance pushes between them and just starts belly dancing. It's got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Like, I compared this act to the Beautiful People and Billy Gunn. This is not that. This is Chip and Dale's weird stuff. And I'm going to say this. I want to see Mr. Elegance wrestle. Like, I don't know. I feel like he'd be decent at it. And now comes this weird matchup as it's Stacks taking on the Hometown Man. In which, bit of an extended squash. However, the story wasn't in the match. It was with Stax' manager, who is Santino's daughter. I forget her name. I do apologize. The entire time there were opportunities for her to attack Hometown Man, but she didn't do it. And then after a roll-up, she just kind of looks away, not really looking at Stax. And then when he was announced the winner, she goes in and celebrates. But there's something there. There's some tension there. In which while the match was pretty much nothing, this story actually has some depth to it. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to turn into a Stacks versus Santino match, but I don't know how this pays off. Or if it even pays off on TNA TV. Maybe it pays off on NXT. Anyway, then we get a really short TNA injury report segment, which I always enjoy. Then we get Stacks and Grace. Ariana Grace, I think her name is. They're in the back together. They're arguing. Like, Stacks is like, why didn't you take advantage? Why didn't you do this, do that? And Grace is like, oh, I'm sorry. I can't do that anymore. Then we see, kind of in the back, Santino Marella walk off on screen. He's like, he's got like this stern look on his face. Grace sees him and says, look, I got this. I'm going to handle this. Then Stacks turns, sees him, says, so you want to play fair? Wait and see what the mistakes I make with you both. So, it does look like there's going to be some kind of power struggle here. Stacks is also the international champion, which I know that doesn't mean much to anybody really, but we'll see how this dynamic works going forward, because I am pretty interested, to say the least. In the next match, we got a pretty interesting one, actually. It's Elijah, the former Elias, taking on Jason Hotch of the Order 4. And that means entire Order 4 is at ringside. And each and every time, it seems, Elijah gains advantage. Order 4 interfere. And it's pretty much a 5-on-1 fight. But eventually, Elijah won with a Highway to the Danger Zone, which is a great name for a finisher. Then Ali, post-match, Order 4, attack Elijah post-match. Then Ali grabs Elijah's guitar. Looks like he's about to go for the big shot. Elijah gets out of the way, grabs the guitar himself. Ali bails out of the ring. And that's kind of it for that segment, although this will continue on a little bit. We'll see. We then get AJ Francis and Rich Swann both warming up for their main event. And yes, they're the main event. Just wait. It's actually kind of... It's an interesting one. Then we get like a little hype promo for Jada Stone, which... Isn't that Lash Legends' old partner? I think. But then Order 4 interrupt. They're kind of berating her. And Tasha Steelz just knocks Jada to the ground. Order 4 leave. Then we see a hand extended to Jada. Jada holds it. Camera pans up. It's Elijah. And he says, how would you like to walk with Elijah? Which, great line. Nice, easy to the point. As it's revealed, we are getting a mixed tag match next week. Which, yeah, that sounds like fun. Before this next match, Daria Ray, who is the former Sonya Deville, joins commentary for this next match, as it's Elena Black, the former Cora Jade, taking on someone really familiar to me, who I haven't seen in a while on NWA TV, Ruthie J, the 5'2" athlete. And reason I'm excited for this is she's really, really good. So it's really nice seeing her, at least on TV again. So yeah, this was the Elena Black show. Ruthie did get some stuff in, but ultimately, after a swinging DDT, which I don't know what they're going to call that. Hopefully they get a name for that soon. But your winner is Elena Black in her TNA technically return, because she did work TNA as Cora Jade for a little while. But, yeah, ultimately, we got a clear, what's it called? A clear path for Miss Black. So then we go, we get a little commercial break. We come back to a Hardy Boys promo. Kind of hyping up TNA on AMC, saying it has endless possibilities, which is strange. At that point, the Righteous walk on and say, with Vincent taking the lead, saying, "We didn't win because you fought. You won because you got the pull. This doesn't have to be a war. Imagine not fighting against us, but with us." Dig what I'm saying? I kind of get what Vincent's talking about, but I don't see the Hardys joining up with the Righteous. But, hey, crazier stuff has happened. Then we get the Feast or Fired reveal segment. So, obviously, we got the cases. They're all lined up. They're backstage. I would have liked to see them do this on the stage, just because I think it would have gotten a bigger reaction. So, first person to open their case is Trey Miguel, and he gets an international title shot, which, good for him. We'll see if he can take down Stacks. Eddie Edwards opens his. He gets the heavyweight title shot. So we got a clear path to him via Mike Santana. And then we go to Steve Maclin. He opens his case a little bit. Looks in. Heartbroken. Turns it around. Reveals. Fired. He got the pink slip, which automatically means Eric Young gets the X Division title shot. So Eli opens his, says, "Yes, better luck next time," walks off. Interviewer tries to interview Steve Maclin after the segment, but he just looks down at his feet, walks off. So I'm not 100% sure, but I believe Steve Maclin signed a bit of a deal with TNA. So I don't know if this is like a permanent actual firing, or if this is he's going to go away for a bit, then come back under a new gimmick or something. But yeah, either way, this is going to be interesting. Definitely sad Steve Maclin got fired. Would have liked to see him challenge one more time for the world title. But, hey, that's the high risk, high reward of Feast or Fired. So next segment, we get Mike Santana. He's in the back. He's in the locker room, I think. He's kind of looking at his phone for a minute. No, he's talking to someone on the phone. That's what he's doing. But we never get a name. Then in walks Eddie Edwards and the rest of the system, with Eddie saying, "Everyone wants what you have. You got a giant target on your back." So Santana's like, "I already went through you and your boys already." Eddie then says, "That was the old system. The new regime, you can't beat the system." Which, very awesome line. Love it. But then we go to our main event, which was very interesting, but also kind of weird. It's a no-holds-barred match between AJ Francis and Rich Swann. Yeah, basically this was a gigantic plunder match. But I'm going to say this, I had fun with this one. This one was, I don't know, it was a fun payoff to a decent storyline. But after a couple of chair shots, big old frog splash, your winner is Mr. Rich Swann. So, fun main event. But here's what happened post-credits, in which TNA doing credits. That's honestly kind of funny. We have Ray, the former Sonya Deville. She's walking in the back. Then we see a door open. It's Frankie Kazarian, who says to her, "We need to talk." And she enters Kaz's locker room to end the show. So I don't know if Kaz is going to join forces with Rhea or just ask her demand for a rematch for the world title. But, you know, either way, it's we'll see how this dynamic works. But I do think there's some interesting things going forward. So that is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Please like the video. Comment what you thought of TNA. Do you watch TNA now that it's on AMC and available? And if you don't, tell me why. I'd like to hear from you. And that is all from that. Till next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.